And this afternoon, as we induct what will be the 10th class of the Athletics Hall of Fame, we'll have a chance here to reflect on the glory of the past and also anticipate the promise of the future. The tradition of excellence that defines EKU athletics was built on that dedication we talk about, innovation as well, and especially the talent of individuals who have come and gone, and those that remain on campus. Many of the people who established that successful foundation are in this room with us today. And today, we enshrine 9 distinguished individuals into our Athletics Hall of Fame. Not only did these special student athletes excel while being clad in maroon and white, but they have also honorably represented this university throughout their life journey. This year's class is bolstered by the thrill of championships and the spirit of success, qualities that help define this university. These inductees will be warmly welcomed into an elite circle of people who embraced and really thrived when they were given their opportunity here on the campus beautiful. Several current members of the Athletics Hall of Fame have returned today to honor this year's class. So at this time, we ask that all current Hall of Famers please stand so that they may once again recognize you for your contribution to the legacy of EKU athletics. Current Hall of Fame members, please stand. We are also joined today by current EKU head and assistant coaches as well as EKU student athletes, and we ask that all current Colonel coaches and student athletes please stand and be recognized. This special group continuing on a daily basis to represent the athletics department with pride. All current coaches, staff, and athletes. And before I begin, I would like to once again thank our selection committee. Choosing the annual induction class is a very challenging process each year. However, they have once again provided a group of very deserving individuals. So thanks to the selection committee. And like all the players, I always take good direction from Coach Kidd when he has an idea. And there are so many football players that played at Eastern Kentucky University in this audience. Coach wants to see if you're still in playing shape. So can all former players that played football at Eastern please stand. What do you think, Coach? We in good shape? Thanks. Steve Lockmuller was already a very familiar name to many Kentuckians when he was hired as EKU's Director of Athletics in March of this year. He was one of the last players to participate both in basketball and football at UK. Steve has brought an entrepreneurial vision, business savvy, and proven leadership, all skills to the Colonel Athletics Department. Prior to leading the Colonels, much of Steve's career was spent as an executive in the telecommunications field. Only 6 months into the job, he has had to hit the ground running, making 2 major coaching hires within his first 2 months in that position. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the podium Athletics Director Steve Lockmuller.
Thank you, Greg. And let me tell you something, it hadn't slowed down a bit. We got a lot of work to do yet, and we got a lot of good things going on, and it's exciting to be here and be a part of this ceremony. Before I forget, I want to say good afternoon to everybody. What an honor it is to be here to honor these inductees. On behalf of Eastern Kentucky University Athletics, welcome to the 10th Annual Athletics Hall of Fame Banquet. Been looking at some of the inductees and haven't met everyone yet, but hope to meet everybody before I leave. But what a wonderful and talented group we have going in this afternoon. And we've assembled here today to pay tribute to them. The These 9 former athletes have collected such an outstanding list of accolades. I thought I'd share a few of those with you as this afternoon. Probably be best if I get these on, might make a difference too. 16 all OVC recognitions, 3 all-region players, 4 All-Americans, 34 years as a group playing in a professional league, 29 years of coaching a professional team as a group, 3 OVC Athletes of the Year, 2 inductees have been selected to EKU All-Century teams, 1 NCAA Woman of the Year finalist. That's what we've got going in here this afternoon. What a great group of individuals. And we are proud to induct this afternoon the first women's golfer into our Eastern Kentucky Athletic Hall of Fame. You know, it's a busy day here today. We've got volleyball going on, we've got football going on, we've got a lot of different things going on around campus. But what a great day to host Austin P, get Coach Hood and the team out there to get a big win for the Colonels. So I hope while you're in town for these great ceremonies here honoring these individuals that you'll take time to be at the game this evening. Please feel free to stop by Touchdown Terrace if you want to. It's a new thing that we're doing around here, but we're not here about that. We're here about these Colonels. And congratulations to each and every one of you that are being inducted today. And I'll leave on one note. Go Colonels.
Oops, sorry about that. Thanks, Steve. So you got all the height of the guys coming out of Indiana. The Athletics Hall of Fame ceremony is one of several events throughout the year sponsored by the Colonel Club. And for nearly 40 years, as you well know, the Colonel Club has been dedicated to improving the student-athlete experience. So at this time, we ask all Colonel Club members to please stand so we can recognize you. I mean, it goes without saying that the Colonel Club members make a direct impact on the vitality of EKU athletics, and we thank you very much. And now, why we're here. Time to meet the 2015 EKU Athletics Hall of Fame induction class. Our first inductee was a 4-year starter for Coach Mike Calhoun's EKU basketball teams from 1992 through 1996. He received all-conference recognition as a sophomore and as a senior when he was second-team All-OVC. He finished the season in the top 10 in the conference in 4 categories: 9th in scoring, 4th in three-point shooting percentage, 5th in steals, and 10th in assists. He finished his stellar career at Eastern as the school's 11th all-time leading scorer and 5th all-time in steals. For his career, he averaged 13.5 points a game. He also closed his stay at Eastern with an impressive 37.8% shooting percentage from 3 range, including hitting 52 threes his senior year, finishing 4th in the conference in percentage. As a sophomore, he was named Honorable Mention All-OVC, led Eastern with 35 dunks, including an unbelievable 7 against Tennessee Tech, scoring 34 points against the Golden Eagles. Both as a junior and a senior, he finished as the 9th leading scorer in the conference, averaging 16 points as a junior, 16.5 as a senior. His career numbers: 1,442 points, 497 rebounds, 228 assists, 172 steals, and 97 dunks. I was joking with him earlier that he and Chris Brown combined for 97 dunks. He had all 97, Chris had 0. Chris liked the joke, actually. Well, after leaving Eastern in 1996, he played in France and then played briefly in 1999 with the CBA Grand Rapids Hoops. Later that season, he finished the year with the Dakota Wizards, an IBA team which had the league's best record, and finished as Western Conference champions. He was voted most valuable player. And from 2000 to 2005, he worked at a D.D. Wallace Alternative School for Challenge Kids. He then began working at the Nashville Metro Parks and Recreation Community Center for adults and kids. He became director of the Luby Community Center in Nashville in 2012. Joined today by his family and friends, number 32, Demarcus Doss.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, appreciate it. This up here. Whew. Let me take a deep breath real fast. Deep breath. First I was going to freestyle from the head, from the heart, but a little jittery. Like I told my daughters and my son and them, I could always play in front of thousands of people, but as far as speaking in front of people, yeah, it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good at all. But I'm going to try my best. Speak from the heart what I wrote down. And first I want to thank, honoring God for blessing me with this gift of giving and pouring my heart in what I love. This is basketball. First I want to thank my mother. Can she please stand, please? Hold on a second. This woman right here, along with my father Thomas, put 3 kids in college. I used to want to think of call her a truck driver because she made every game in Tennessee. That's Tennessee Tech, that's Tennessee State, UT Martin, Austin P, SEMO, Murray State. For my 4-year career, she was at every game. Every game. And then the last 2 years of my sister, so I applaud her. She got 3 kids, one's a lawyer, 2's Hall of Fame. What mother can say that? So I really want to give her a round of applause. Got that out. To all my family and friends, I thank you. I love you guys. I wouldn't bring this day because of what I learned from coaches. And I take that very seriously, what I teach now. And I want to thank one of my first coaches on down to where I'm at to this day is Coach Dennis Gum, God rest his soul, my father, Mickey Doss, Charles Atcher, Mike Metcalf, Todd Hester, Marcus Flippin, Denver Bell, Greg Shelton, Byron Jones, Marty Polio, Robert Epps, John Ferguson, a guy who just got in coaching, but he's my roommate. When I would say 5'12", his name Murray Garvin. He's a coach now at South Carolina State. And know his calling was he used to coach me in my room every night before a game. So I really applaud him. He was on me. He was on me. I thank him for turning my career. A guy who really stuck, 2 gentlemen that really stuck, was first gentleman that put me in place to show me was this Coach Trish Kington. He showed me how to be a leader and to lead by example on and off the court. And that's so important nowadays that we teach our kids. There's so much going on now that you had to put the things together on and off the court. And I applaud you and I thank you. And lastly, hey, I wouldn't be here for this guy, this energetic, smiling, laughable guy, always pulling his pants up, showing his socks. I'm glad his sock game was good then because he always did. It's Mike Calhoun. If he wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here today for his recruitment, bringing me here, for his opportunity to show my heart and passion here at EKU. And I think he's here tonight. I thank you. As I think you're celebrating, I can remember before is Eastern gave me a great education, and it gave me friends for life. Not only just student athletes, but students. I see this day that congregate with Facebook and social media, EKU is a family. And that's what I teach my kids and the kids I work with, the youth. It's family, and I appreciate that. I guess throughout my 4-year career, everybody remember me for my dazzling dunks and 360s and slamming into stuff on the scores tables and things like that. But a lot of people don't remember coming in here as a freshman in '92. I was 6'3", 185 pounds. And Coach Calhoun had me playing power forward. That means I'm going against 6'7", 6'9", 6'8", 225, 240, giving up pounds, ounces, and everything. But I showed him that I play with heart and passion, and I appreciate that. Yeah. And that's guarding the best player night in and night out that trickled down there, and I appreciate that. I'm short and sweet, and that's how my game was. And the most memorable moment I had here at Eastern Kentucky that really just stuck out And what molded me as a person I am today, as a teacher, as I teach kids and youth today, is I didn't realize it until one day I was talking to a kid, and I really realized how it was going. And probably Mr. Chris Brown probably remember this, because I'll never forget, we was in the hall in the middle of the game, and it was played that team down the street. I can't remember that name. UK Wildcats. Yeah, that's it. I remember that. UK. At the time, they was number 3 in the nation. We were playing them that night. And Chris Brown, first thing he said, "Hey guys, this is our night." And I truly remember it to this day. And we stuck out. We played them hard as we ever hit. And our tallest guy was 6'7". And they shortest guy was maybe 6'3". I think he charged for like 6'3", 6'1". We'd give him an inch or two. But yeah, and we fought all night long. And I'll never forget, I didn't realize what it was then. I thought it was crazy then, but I didn't realize Coach Calhoun called timeout. Looked us all in the face. And we like, okay, we hype, we ready. And he said, "I love you guys. I love you guys." And I'm looked at everybody like, he done lost his mind. He's crazy. We beating UK. We're number 3 team in the nation. We beating UK right now. And he said, "I love you guys." And I thought about it, and I was like, man, they didn't trickle down. I'm like, to this day, till, a couple months ago, I thought he was crazy then. They're like, he crazy, Carl, Think about it. And I think about it now as I coach kids. And I think about it, and I caught myself acting like some of the coaches. I mean, I pulled my pants up like Calhoun before in the middle of the game trying to coach. And I think about what he meant that night is, and I take it to how I live life is. Live life in enjoyment of others. I appreciate your camaraderie, your friends, your brothers. Because life is so short. And during that time, we took time, and that big moment, you couldn't hear anything, and packed house, sold house. Our brothers, we enjoyed each other, and we loved each other. And that's what he was saying at that moment. And that's why I teach my kids and the kids I work with today and I coach is taking a moment, cherish each other, appreciate each other. And I thank you all. I appreciate you, and this is such an honor for me to be here. I mean, I was here last year, a lot of probably don't know, and my little sister got inducted, and I think it's a rarity. I think somebody hit me up. I think it's a rarity that 2 siblings get inducted at the same school, brother and sister. So I think it's a blessing in disguise. And I appreciate you all. I thank you. And all I can say is live life to the fullest. Thank you.
We'll say Demarcus Murray Garvin brought his team to alumni this past season. And in our pregame interview with Murray, since he was an Eastern graduate, he mentioned the role of, even though he came on a football scholarship, of being with the basketball players and what it meant to him. And I believe his team's coming back for the tournament here in November again. So maybe you can get up and see Murray back in November. Our next inductee played 4 seasons for Coach Roy Kidd's EKU Colonel football team in the early 90s before playing 12 seasons in the National Football League, first with the Philadelphia Eagles and then the Kansas City Chiefs. After beginning his Eastern career in 1991 at defensive end, where he totaled 14 tackles and 14 assists, he was injured in the 92 season and received a medical red shirt. Coming back as a sophomore in 1993, he moved to tight end. He had 11 receptions for 155 yards, total 109 yards rushing, scoring a TD on a reverse. He was named second team All-OVC, helping Eastern to a berth in the 1AA playoffs. His junior season, he caught 14 passes for 278 yards and a TD and added 60 on the ground. He closed his Colonel career in 95 with 20 receptions for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, adding 57 yards rushing and another touchdown. He was drafted in the second round in 1996 by the Philadelphia Eagles. He caught 40 passes for 557 yards and 4 touchdowns over 3 seasons. He then sat out the 1999 season with an injury, and he was traded to the Chiefs, where he spent the last 8 years of his pro career, retiring in 2007. His career totals with the Chiefs included 41 catches for 353 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was inducted into the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2006 and was a member of EKU's All-Century football team chosen in 2009. He has served as an assistant coach at Kentucky State University for the past 2 seasons as the special teams coordinator and the tight ends coach. So he could not be with us today because Kentucky State is playing Central State up in Indianapolis. So we ask you to turn your attention to the screen as he shares his thoughts about being selected to the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame by video. Ladies and gentlemen, number 96, Jason Dunn.
First like to express my gratitude for being inducted into the EKU Hall of Fame. I'd like to give a special thanks to President Michael Benson and our athletic director, Steve Lockmuller, and our previous coach and legend, Roy Kidd. I also like to thank the coaching staff that was very gracious to have me down and also teach me so much about life and different things of that nature that made it into a family that we were. It was all about EKU pride. Coaches especially, Coach Carter, Coach Blankenship, Coach Tenera, Coach Taylor, and also I'd like to thank my tight ends coaches at the time, Coach Catlett, but I also like to thank all the guys that had played with me to make this honor even more special. We put in a lot of time and effort and made something special there on the field. Being part of winning tradition for the 4 years I was there, beating Western 3 out of the 4 times was something that I always remember. Of course, the tight-knit group of guys that we had that supported one another, that pushed each other to become better than what we were. But I also like to thank Carl Park, also the athletic department, Dr. Bobby Barton, who was our head trainer, who worked so hard to get us athletes back on the field. And like I said before, I'd like to thank also, too, the wives of the coaches that supported the team, the boosters and whatnot that was there during our time at Eastern. I'd like to give a special thank also too to Coach Hood, who was part of that coaching staff when we went to some of the playoffs. And hopefully this year, and I know they will, be able to win this game. Coach Hood, congratulations, continue the success. I'd also like to thank all the previous inductees, the inductees of this year, which this honor is well deserved. Also, I'd like to put a special thanks to my family, to the fans that's out there, who's been a big part of my life and just the whole upbringing of what it means to be a young man that's appreciative of things that's been given to you, the things that you have earned. I also like to say thank you to the fans at EKU, coming to see in the stands being filled with the students and some of the other boosters that helped out with the organization. That was something that was very, very, very kind to the football team. I also like to say thank you to the Colonel Club, the Warren Clee Club, but also too, I'd like to thank, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God for blessing me with the ability to play football, this game that we so love, our athletic ability to continue to, strive and become better. And I had to say that, this time from playing at Eastern, going into the NFL has truly, truly been a blessing. And every day of my life, I thank God for that. Being at Eastern helped me develop into becoming a second-round pick, Philadelphia Eagles, where I played 4 years there, and then going out to play 8 years in Kansas City. But truly, being at Eastern got me prepared to play in the NFL. And being a part of some great teams, I took that winning tradition from Eastern and had the same mindset once we got to Philadelphia and Kansas City. I also like to say that I enjoyed my time at NFL, but nothing compared to my time at Eastern with the closeness of the team, the regard to the fanfare, to the coaches that helped me develop into a young man. And then ended, once again, I'd like to say thank you for this prestigious award. It was truly an honor. Appreciate everything that EKU has done for me, the coaches and everybody that's been involved. Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care. Colonel Pride, baby. Listen.
For an in-person comment or two, let's bring one of the assistant coaches up when Jason was here, Joe Blankenship. Joe, for just a few words.
I was kind of surprised when they asked me to say a couple of things. I want to thank Carl for doing that. But, what an outstanding athlete. Jason, I can still remember him running that tight end reverse, running away from everybody. I mean, he was just an outstanding, very gifted athlete. And I know that what he's doing now, those young men over there at Kentucky State are going to benefit tremendously from his influence. I appreciate what he had to say about thanking the good Lord for all the wonderful things that has happened to him, and he's got a lot of great things in front of him. Jason's family's here. His mom, sister, his niece, and his daughter are back here in the back, and I think Kayla's going to come and accept this award. Kayla's going to come up and accept the award for his dad, but besides asking me to say a couple of things, they also told me, just shut up and don't take too much time. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank y'all, and it's great to see everybody.
Our next inductee was a four-year letter winner for Coach Sandy Martin's EKU women's golf team from 1994 to 1997. She began her career in the fall of '93 when Eastern instituted women's golf into the intercollegiate athletics lineup. She won 3 of the 6 tournaments in which Eastern competed. She followed that up in the spring of her freshman season by capturing the individual title at the OVC tournament and was named OVC Women's Golfer of the Year as she led Eastern to a second-place finish in the tournament. As a sophomore in 19 rounds of golf, she was ranked 272nd in the nation, winning 3 tourneys, improving her scoring average by 5.6 shots per round. In her junior season, she captured her second OVC individual medalist title by winning the conference tournament by 8 strokes with a 3-round total of 229. She led Eastern to its first OVC Women's Golf Championship, a 3-stroke victory over Tennessee Tech that year. Named OVC Women's Golfer of the Year, she finished the year ranked 320th in the nation, winning 4 individual titles in 10 tourneys. Her senior season in 1997 produced her 3rd conference individual championship, again OVC Golfer of the Year. She had the highest national ranking of her career at 118th. She won the OVC tournament by 4 strokes, posting a 54-hole total of 232. She closed her collegiate career in grand fashion, winning her last 4 tournaments. She was also named EKU Senior Female Athlete of the Year, joined today by her husband, former EKU golfer Andy Games, and other members of her family and friends. Let's welcome Beverly Games.
I'm old now, I have to put glasses on so I can read this. What an honor it is to be here with all of you today. And over the past few months, I've really taken some time to reflect upon my time here at EKU and my accomplishments. And the one thing that I realized was that there are so many people that are responsible for me standing here today. And so today I really want to share this honor with them. Obviously, God for blessing me with lots of gifts, but the talent to play golf. And also for leading me in a direction here at EKU that would allow me to meet my husband. We actually just celebrated 16 years of marriage earlier this month. We have 2 awesome kids. If you just ask them, they'll tell you they're awesome. Clay is 12. He turns 13 next month, but I'm going to pretend that's not going to happen. And then Maddie is 8. And so I'm just so thankful for them. And God has also lined my path with some tremendous people, which I'm so thankful for. They have continually supported me. My parents, they introduced me to golf at an early age, my siblings, I'm the youngest of 6, and so my other siblings are really jealous because they didn't get to play golf when they were young. So I'm the youngest by a lot, aren't I, Gerald? Yeah, a lot. So they introduced me to this game at an early age, and both my parents worked. They worked very hard, and so they weren't always able to make it to every event, but they sure made it to as much as they could because we traveled a lot. And my dad is no longer with us, but I know that he'd be so proud of me today. He would always tear up when they would introduce me to the first tee, and it was so embarrassing. I was like, oh my gosh, let me hit this ball fast before Dad starts really crying. So now I have kids, and so now I understand that. So I'll be the one, I'm sure, tearing up with whatever my kids are doing as well. My mom, now she had lots of confidence in me, but she never could watch me putt from 5 feet in. She always turned away. And she would say, I knew you were going to make it. But she couldn't watch me make it because she was afraid. And so my husband and I now call any putt 5 feet in the vomit zone. Because, you kind of, sometimes you feel like, I could really vomit. If this putt means something, I could really vomit. So that's what we call it. Most of my brothers and sisters are here. As I said, I was the youngest of 6, and so they were all working and had careers, and so it was sometimes difficult for them to keep up with me. We didn't have Twitter, and we didn't have Facebook, so it was really difficult for them to keep up with me and tournament results. So they would have to call Mom on a landline. Anybody know what that is? Because she didn't have a cell phone, or they had to wait for the newspaper to come out and hope that there was some little blurb in there about how we were doing. So they did get to come to a tournament here and there. And I was teasing my brother earlier because we were in the same town at one time. I think it was Dayton, Ohio, I believe. And he was there on business. I didn't know he was there, and he didn't know I was there. And once he found out, he had a break in his work schedule. He came out to the golf course to watch me play. And so he found who he thought was me and watched her play the hole and get up there, and it wasn't me. So that we always laugh about that. So I'm really thankful for their love and support. My in-laws are here. Andy's parents are here, Rick and Vicki Games, and I'm so appreciative for them. They came to watch me play before I was even part of the family. When we would have home events here, they would come and watch, so I'm very thankful for that. My high school coach, Freddie Leathers, is here, and his wife, Dee. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I actually didn't come to EKU to play golf. I was here as a student when they decided to begin a women's golf program. And so Freddie made a call to Coach Martin, and I'm not sure exactly what he said, but in a nutshell, he said, she's there, she played in high school, you might want to give her an opportunity to play. And so, boy, am I glad that she did. So, Freddie, I want to thank you for making that phone call. That's a real important part of me standing here, obviously. And Coach Martin for giving me the chance, and for all your encouragement, Freddie, over the years. I owe a special thank you to my teammates, and a couple of them showed up. So I was so excited to see Melissa and Katie. Special thank you to them and to Coach Martin. And for those of you that don't know Coach Martin too well, I know a lot of you do, but with her, everything is a competition. Everything. And so she always had us prepared to compete because we were competing every day in practice. And so she always pushed us. My teammates always pushed us. There were days that Coach Martin would hold me by the hair on my head on the driving range while I hit balls because I had this problem with moving my head in my golf swing. So, when that was over, I really wanted to hold her by the hair on her head, but I didn't really feel like that was appropriate. But the other thing I want to tell you about Coach Martin is she was not just a coach. She kept up with us off the golf course as well. And I actually learned this the hard way. It was Friday. It was a Friday. We were having golf practice. And the old campus, and Demarcus, you guys will remember this. Thursday night was ladies' night. And So, anyway, I was scrubbing my stamp off on Friday morning, right? Melissa, Katie, so I'm scrubbing my stamp. Didn't do anything wrong. We just went out. And she made it a point to come down on the driving range on Friday while everyone was down there and say, Bev, I heard you were a good dancer. I was like, oh man, I am so busted. So I really think she has spies. And so if there's any current athletes here, your coach has spies, just so you know. Be careful. I have no doubt, though, that Coach Martin thinks that I could go out today and beat anyone that I played. Now, she'd be wrong today because I haven't played a competitive round of golf in 2 years. But she believes that. And the reason that's important is because to have a coach that believes in you so much and has so much confidence in you that it actually changes your level of confidence in yourself. That is so important. And I finally realized that my senior year, right before those last 4 wins and my last 4 starts. That's when I realized it. Now, Coach Martin made me think it was my idea, and I understand what she was doing there too. But I finally realized it. So without her confidence in me, well, my intro would have been a lot shorter, I'm sure. So thank you, Coach Martin, for all that you've done for me, and Katie, Melissa, for all the great times too. Finally, the committee, for the work that you do each year in selecting Hall of Fame inductees. I know that it must be a difficult task, and I'm so thankful that you feel that I'm worthy of such an honor. So I want to congratulate the other inductees, and thank you all for coming. Go Colonels!
Our next inductee was a 4-year letterman and 3-year starter for Coach Roy Kidd's EKU Colonel football team from 1969 to 1972. He was a wide receiver. His career pass receiving totals, 82 receptions, 502 yards, 3 touchdowns. His best season was his senior year when he caught 32 passes for 502 yards. Following his graduation from Eastern in 1974, he began his coaching career as an assistant at Miami University for 3 seasons. In 1977 to 1981, he coached wide receivers and tight ends at Kentucky, the same post that he held the following year with Kansas. In 1983, he was head coach at Kentucky State University before returning to the SEC at Florida from 1984 through 1988 as running back coach. Other collegiate coaching stints for this inductee include Pittsburgh, 1989, Alabama from 1990 to 1993, Texas A&M in 2000, and Middle Tennessee in 2006. In 1994, he began his NFL career as wide receivers coach for the San Francisco 49ers, coaching the NFL's all-time reception and receiving yards leader, Jerry Rice. Under his tutelage, Rice set an NFL record with 1,848 yards and had a career-high 122 receptions in 1995. San Francisco's receivers set a Super Bowl record in Super Bowl 29 with 6 TD catches, including 3 by Rice. In his stint at Alabama, he helped the Crimson Tide to a national title in 1992. He is a former NFL coach with 17 years' experience in the league with stints with the 49ers, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Broncos, and most recently, a 7-year stint with the Houston Texans. In those 7 seasons, Andre Johnson averaged an NFL best 93.6 yards a game, led the league in receiving yards twice, and led the NFL in receptions in 2008. He was out of coaching in 2005 while serving as Deputy Executive Director of the Kentucky Sports Authority before returning to coaching in 2006, as I mentioned, at Middle Tennessee, helping lead them to the Sun Belt Conference crown. He's a native of Harlan. He and his wife Anita have 2 children, Jessica and Jared. Ladies and gentlemen, he wore number 81 for the Maroon and White. Let's welcome Larry Kirsey.
Thank you very much for this honor. Glad to be here today. I'd like to say thanks to Coach Roy Kidd for believing in a skinny kid from Harlan, Kentucky. For giving me a chance to continue to play this great game that I truly love, and an opportunity to get a great education. I'm from a family of 11 kids, 7 boys, 4 girls. And I never forget, it was like yesterday. I was at home, and my older brother, Seaburn, came in, and he said, "You need to start playing sports to get a scholarship, because you know the old man can't afford to send you." That's a true story. That's about 8, 9 at the time. I started playing in the alley, in the parks. I got to high school. I led it 16 times in high school. I'd like to say thanks to Coach Dan Beasley, Coach Talbot Walker, for helping me achieve that goal of getting that scholarship. I will never forget my freshman year here at EKU. Coach Jack Eisen, the strength coach, he threatened to send me home. I couldn't bench press my own weight, which was 149 pounds. Somehow, I finally found a way, to get stronger, and I made the team. Coach Kidd loves telling this story. He tells it different every time he tells this story. Second game of the season, we're playing East Tennessee State University. And they have an All-American linebacker, and Coach Moberly knows about him. It was Youngblood. I called a pass on the sideline. I made the corner miss. I ducked back to the inside. Coach Moberly will tell you, bad mistake, wasn't it? The linebacker hit me. And you talk about helmets getting turned around and you look through the ear hole. I looked through the ear hole. I saw stars. I heard lightning. I was on the ground. I started feeling for something. I split my tooth out. It was broken in half. I couldn't find it, so I got up, ran back across the field. I said, "Coach Kidd," I said, "look." He said, "Spray his mouth out and get your butt back in there." True story, right? After my playing career was over, I needed 8 hours to graduate. I was one of those guys that, sometimes I got in trouble and didn't always do what I was supposed to do academically. But Coach Kidd told me I could come back. I needed 8 hours to graduate, and that I could be a student coach. I never forget it. I had to move out of O'Donnell Hall over to Todd Hall, and so began my coaching career. I was a student coach. I worked with the defense. I worked with Coach Eisen, and I got my degree that December. And so Coach Kidd said, "You ought to stay around, get your teacher's certificate," because I wanted to coach. He knew that. And so I stayed around that January, got my teacher's certificate. I did my student teacher at Madison Central. So after that was over, I went home that summer, and I was getting ready to take a job at Madison Central. Coach Frank knows that. I got a phone call from Coach Kidd. He said, "Hey, Larry," he said, "Miami University just called. They're looking for a young black coach." And he said, "I think you'd be good for that." And so I went up, interviewed, and I got the job. And the rest is history. Even as a kid, I had goals, and I set a lot of goals about what I wanted to do. And so I became a coach. And after that, I went on. I guess you can say as a young man, I wanted to coach college football. I achieved that goal. I wanted to win a national championship. I did that. I wanted to coach in pro football. I wanted to win a Super Bowl. I did that. But the biggest goal that I ever had achieved in my life is when I met my wife, Anita Kirsey. Please stand. My 3 children, they please stand. When I first came to Eastern Kentucky, Coach Kidd gave Teddy Taylor $40, him and Sidney Yadell. He said, "Take Larry out and show Larry a good time." Teddy took me out, got me something to eat, took me back to the dorm, and him and Sidney had a good time. You know that's true, Teddy. I'll never forget as a player, Coach Moberly likes telling this story. I was on the punt team, and he was trying to teach me how to tackle, and that's another story. But anyway, I was on the punt team. I was a gunner, and we punted the ball, and I was the first man down the field. And this guy on the previous play had tried to scratch my eye out, and he was the punt returner, so he signaled for a fair catch. And I saw it, but I remember he tried to scratch my eye out. And so I hit him, knowing that he had signaled fair catch. And Coach Kidd, I mean, he ripped me a new one. But I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Coach Kidd, for all he's done for me. He got me my first job, my second job at Kentucky, my third job at Kansas. I got my own job at Kentucky State. That's a mistake. My next job at Florida, he got me that job. And I'm so indebted to Coach Kidd and his wife, Susan, and Keith, and for all that they've done for me and my family. I would like to thank my classmates. Jack Miller is here. I see Jack. Teddy Taylor. Without your support, this would never have happened. And the last thing I want to say is thanks to President Benson, the athletic director Steve Lockmiller, and the board, and my fellow inductees for this great honor. Go Colonels.
Our next inductee started all 4 years, 1965 through 1968, for Coach Roy Kidd's EKU Colonel football team at linebacker. He was part of 2 Ohio Valley Conference championship teams and the 1967 Grantland Rice Bowl championship team. He began his career starting for Eastern midway through his freshman season that Eastern finished 4-4-1. The Maroons finished 4th in the league in team defense, allowing just 278 yards a contest. As a sophomore, the Colonels finished 7-3, ended up 15th in the final UPI poll for small colleges. Eastern developed a reputation for a tough defense that season, leading the league in scoring defense under 11 points a game and overall team defense at 204 yards a game. His junior season produced one of the all-time great Colonel teams, as Eastern finished 8-1-2 overall, undefeated in conference play, winning Coach Kidd's first league title and the school's 3rd overall. The 67 team culminated when Eastern defeated Ball State 27-13 in the Grantland Rice Bowl to capture the NCAA's 10-state Mideast Region Championship. While averaging 25.3 points a game on offense, this inductee and his defensive counterparts did their jobs, allowing a conference-best 7.5 points a game. Eastern also closed that year second in team defense, giving up 228 yards a game. In his senior year, Eastern was 8-2, finished undefeated again in conference play, and won for the second year in a row the conference championship. He was chosen a first-team All-OVC selection. He is a former president of the Colonel Club and is also one of the founding fathers of Eastern's Football Boosters Club, the Warren Cleat Club. Let's welcome our next inductee, joined by his wife Billy and other family members, number 65, Jim Moberly.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. I'd like to thank Carl, the committee, Steve Lockmuller, and President Benson for such a wonderful afternoon. Growing up here in Richmond, my family and I were big Eastern fans. Over the years, we had the opportunity to watch many of EKU's great athletes. For me to join them and today's inductees is truly, truly an honor. I want to thank Coach Kidd for giving me the opportunity to come to Eastern and play for him and his great assistants. Men like Bill Shannon, Bobby Harville, Jack Eisen, all great coaches and great friends. Joe Blankenship was coaching here then. He was coaching the linebackers. And I'm sure, Joe, you went in deep depression when you saw a scrawny guy like me walk out on the field. Many good things happened for me here at Eastern. I earned a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. I met my wife, Billy, of 44 years. We've made many friends here at EKU and met many good friends here in Richmond. I'm certainly glad to have their support today. Our son Matt is here with his wife, Amanda, and our granddaughter, Adeline. Matt had the opportunity to grow up watching such great players as Bill Hughes, Alvin Miller, Tuck Woolham, Steve Bird, Fred Harvey, and the list goes on and on and on. All these young men led EKU to so many important victories. Many of you have heard the old cliche, no man is an island. Well, I can tell you, without my teammates, I wouldn't be here speaking to you today. They mean a lot to me. They meant a lot back then and a lot today. And I want to thank them for the times we had on the field and for the times we had in O'Donnell Hall. What great memories. You know, it's hard to believe that 50 years ago, on September the 18th, we opened our first season against tonight's opponent, Austin Peay. Trailing 23-7 at the end of the third quarter, Coach Kidd decided it's time for a change. So he started to use some of his freshmen. Jim Geis, Herman Carter, and Aaron Marsh led a fourth quarter comeback victory. And you know, I even stumbled around and fell on a fumble myself. This was a preview of what was to come over the next 4 years. Along with our coaches, we made great strides in the football world. One being the Grantland Rice Bowl victory in '67. This was also, as mentioned, the NCAA Mideast Championship game. It was televised by ABC and drew a lot of press coverage, particularly in the Nashville area. During the week leading up to the game, all the focus was on the size advantage that Ball State had. Coach, I think you even started worrying about it when you started reading some of those weight comparisons. However, one thing that the writers failed to think about, and that's the will to win. That characterized our team over those years. It's something I'll remember about each and every teammate, their overwhelming will to win. When we get together now, it's sometimes always a struggle to keep from talking about the old war stories. But they've been exaggerated and carried out too far. Now what we talk about are the friendships and the opportunities that we had here at Eastern. One opportunity we had was to play for the greatest coach in the history of the game, Roy Kidd, a man loved and respected by all who played for him. The opportunity to be at Eastern in the beginning of what became one of the premier programs in college football is really a mind-boggling experience. It makes all of our teammates, and there's a bunch of them here tonight or this afternoon, makes us all smile when everybody says, you were there at the beginning. I want to tell you, it's truly a matter of pride to have played here at Eastern, be inducted into this Hall of Fame with guys like Larry Kirsey and Jason Dunn, to be associated with the many people who continue to carry Eastern's winning traditions forward, not just in athletics, but as a university as a whole. And I want to mention one thing to you, Teddy. Coach Shannon did like you best. He told me so. I'd like to close by congratulating all the inductees and wish them continued success Thank you all very much. Go Big E.
Our next inductee played 3 seasons for Coach Jim Ward's EKU baseball team before signing a professional contract with the Kansas City Royals. He had an outstanding career at Eastern, holding 4 single-season school records. Most games played, 68, at-bats, 266, consecutive hits, 12, and he had 26 doubles. His most impressive season came in 1987 when he was named second-team All-American and NCAA All-South Region. He was also named OVC Northern Division Player of the Year. He hit .433 that year. 3-time first-team All-OVC selection. He was collegiate baseball's toughest player to strike out, with only 3 strikeouts in 165 at-bats in 1987. While at Eastern, the Colonels won 104 games over 3 seasons, topped by a school record 42-29 record in 1985, as EKU advanced to the NCAA Regionals. He played 10 seasons of pro ball, compiling a .279 batting average. His best seasons in minor league ball were in 1987 with Class A Eugene, where he hit .374, and in 1994 with Class AAA Richmond, where he finished the year at .366. In September of 1991, he made his major league debut, playing for the Kansas City Royals and hitting .357 with a double and 3 steals. He is currently in his 9th season as hitting coach with the Class A farm team of the Atlanta Braves, the Rome Braves. His inaugural season of professional coaching was 1997 when he served as the coach of the Braves' Single A affiliate in the Northwest League. He also spent 3 years with the Lynchburg Hillcats, where he helped lead that team to the Carolina League title. Before joining the Rome Braves, he spent 2 seasons as a coach with the Braves' Single A affiliate in Greenville. He is involved with the Braves in an important Florida Instructional League outing, and he could not join us here today. We are able, or were able, I should say, to catch up with him at a Lexington Legends Rome Braves game earlier this year so he could share his thoughts about his induction into the Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Robert Moore.
EKU fans. First of all, thank you guys for inviting me and inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I'm very honored. I'm sorry I couldn't make it there. I'll be in Florida at that time. I'm currently working with the Atlanta Braves organization. I'm very blessed. I've been doing it over 20-something years. But it just brings back memories being at EKU from 85, 86, and 87. Coach Ward, who was my second dad, who took me under his wing and guided me in the right direction. I'm very honored. I wish I could be there to see him face to face and give him a hug and say thank you. All the teammates I had along the way kept me grounded, kept me very humble. I learned a lot. It carried me to where I am today. Like I said, I'm blessed to be here and having fun at EKU. Those 3 years, you never forget. We were in a championship all 3 years. Winning the OVC, going to the regionals, losing some tough ball games, but it was fun. It was a life changer. But I just like to thank a few people along the way. Definitely the Lord and my family, mom and dad, friends, Troy Williams, his dad Moses were very crucial for me coming to EKU. Out of high school, I wasn't really heavily recruited. In '84, small guy, nobody really wanted to give the opportunity to. But I remember my mom and dad always said, you can't measure nobody's heart. And then when I got drafted by Detroit Tigers out of high school, the phone never stopped ringing. But someone who was true to me the whole time was EKU and Jim Ward. And so that's where I wanted to go. And like I said, he took care of me and blessed me, kept me grounded. From 85, 86, 87, fortunate enough to get drafted by Kansas City Royals. And I left EKU after my junior year to pursue my career in professional baseball. I played with Kansas City from 87, 88, 89, 91. got the call to Kansas City in 91, then was traded to Atlanta Braves in 92. Played with Atlanta from 92 to 96, broke my hip, then retired at the age of 30. And started coaching in 97. And very fortunate, now I get a chance to give back what I've learned on and off the field and pass it to these kids. And very proud to see these guys make it to the major leagues. Even the ones who don't make it, they're just good men and good people. But once again, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who voted me into the Hall of Fame. I'm very honored and touched, and I appreciate it. I want to say God bless, and I'll try my best to get to EKU and tell everybody face to face. Thank you.
On behalf of Robert, I accept this award on his behalf.
Our next inductee was a four-year letter winner for Coach Rick Erdman's EKU women's cross-country and track teams from 1991 to 1995. She began her career in grand fashion by winning the OVC cross-country championship, finishing the 5,000-meter course in 18 minutes and 6 seconds. She repeated the feat as OVC Women's Cross Country Runner of the Year in both her sophomore and senior years, helping Eastern build its string of OVC Women's Cross Country titles to 18 in a row between 1982 and 1999. During her four-year career, she was chosen as OVC Female Cross Country Runner of the Week 7 times. Her success continued during the track portion of her career, as she did her part in leading Eastern to 2 OVC outdoor titles and 1 indoor championship. She was a 4-time OVC outdoor champion in the 3,000-meter run, set a school record in the 10,000-meter. She also won the 1993 indoor title in the 3,000-meter run and captured 3 league medals in the 5,000. Other achievements at Eastern included being named a 3-time EKU Sportswoman of the Year in cross country, outstanding senior in physical education, top senior in the College of Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and Athletics, the EKU Milestone Yearbooks Hall of Fame winner, and she was one of 10 finalists for the 1995 NCAA Woman of the Year Award. She was one of only 6 athletes to be chosen as a 1993-1994 OVC Scholar Athlete of the Year, won the OVC Medal of Honor that season, and was a 3-time COSIDA Academic All-American. She recently concluded a stint as the head cross-country coach and a member of the adjunct faculty at Meredith College in Raleigh, North Carolina, where she began the initial cross-country team back in 2005. She led her 2013 and 2014 squads to back-to-back USA South Championship titles, earning Coach of the Year honors each year. The 2014 Avenging Angels earned the program's 3rd consecutive National Division III All-Academic recognition from the U.S. Track and Field and Cross Country Coaches Association. Her teams made a steady climb up the ranks in the USA South Atlantic Conference, with a 2nd-place finish in the 2012 championships. The 2005 team won the Division III state championship. She came to Meredith from Duke University, where she served 2 years as the women's cross-country track assistant coach. Duke finished as the NCAA cross-country national runner-up in 2005. Previously, she served 5 years as head coach for the cross-country and track teams at Charleston Southern University. She also served 2 years as a graduate assistant coach at Northern Arizona University. While she was at NAU, the men's and women's teams finished in the top 10 in the NCAA cross-country championships. She holds a Master's of Arts in Exercise Science from Northern Arizona and a Bachelor of Arts in Physical Education from here at EKU. She spends her spare time as a volunteer counselor and committee member in various civic and church organizations and camps. Ladies and gentlemen, joined today by her husband Hans and other family members, Amy Clemens Olsen.
Wow, it is so wonderful to be here this afternoon, to see so many familiar faces, and to truly feel like I've come back home after 20 years when I graduated in 1995. unbelievable I can say 20 years because it really seems like just yesterday that I left. But driving onto campus this weekend, I see that very much has changed, and it's great to see those changes. When I arrived as a naive high school senior on my college official visit, I had no idea what questions to ask and what to look for in a future program, but my wise parents had told me when challenged with a difficult decision, the best thing to do was to follow my heart. And that's what I did. I chose Eastern Kentucky because the sense of family and the welcoming and comforting atmosphere that it has. I hear that from the fellow inductees today. That seems to be a common theme everybody feels here, and it's really wonderful to share in that. I appreciate the opportunity today to be given the chance to say thank you to so many people that made that decision from the heart to be such a great one. I want to start by thanking my parents who gave me a great start and the support and confidence to try new things, to take risks, and to always give my best. They have given so much time and driven so many miles to always be there to cheer me on. I want to thank my high school coaches who began my passion for the sport with their dedication, leadership, and unfailing belief in me. They set a great example of how I wanted to compete and later how I wanted to coach. At EKU, I was blessed with many wonderful professors in every subject who were committed to teaching in the classroom and cared about what happened outside of it. I can clearly remember Dr. Motley not being afraid to stand on top of the desk to keep our attention. And I can remember Hal Holmes giving us a lecture on the Brooklyn Bridge. Not sure how that applied to physiology, but I can't wait to share it with my children because it still stands out in my mind. In the EKU athletics department, and just 20 years after Title IX, female athletes were being taken seriously, and I was starstruck by the trailblazers that shaped the land ahead of me. People right here, like Martha Mullins and Jerry Palvino and Joan Hopkins, all made a strong impression on me at that time, and I wasn't about to let them down. The resources and the support staff at Eastern were always what we needed, from the trainers to facilities to people like Dan Litke and Carl Park, who always made us feel like we mattered. Of course, I couldn't have done anything I accomplished without the guidance of my coach, Rick Erdman, who still has the dedication to his teams 36 years after he began here. There were days when his workouts would bring me to tears and days when races didn't go as we had planned or hoped, but these challenges and losses never allowed us to give up, and we only tried again. There are memories of waking up at 6 a.m. on race day. He would pull us all out of our rooms and make us go for a jog around the hotel parking lot. I'm still not sure why we needed to do that, but I see a couple teams when I'm out and about still following that practice. He had us convinced that it was important to do and it's useful, so therefore it was part of our pre-race routine. Wonderful memories come to mind too, like the success of our team after a difficult practice or a particularly challenging race, when we came together and accomplished more than we expected. When we captured the OVC title 4 years in a row while I was here, and then on to a string of 18 in a row. When we represented EKU among thousands competing at the Penn Relays. It was in my last year of competing here at Eastern when I realized there was no way I was ready to leave this sport and this environment, and the decision was made in my head that I was going to pursue a college coaching career. Since that time, I have coached at 4 different universities and experienced a tremendous range of abilities and resources. I consider this the second half of my running career and also a joyous one. The support of my college mentors have continued to guide me, as has the amazing support of my husband, Hans, also a coach in the college ranks. Our children, Anders, Annika, and Axel, I hope never tire of hearing the exciting post-dinner conversations we have, working out our practice plans or talking about our athletes or figuring out the latest challenges we have to overcome. It is so great to be back here and to be a fan of EKU athletics. That feeling of family hasn't changed, whether I'm rooting for Eastern Kentucky basketball in the NCAA tournament or following every Twitter update that comes across as the cross country competes again on the national stage. Thank you so much for shaping me and welcoming me into your family. Thank you for continuing the support for these young athletes that are here and giving them the chance to succeed.
Our next inductee was a four-year starter from 2002 through 2005 for Coach Lori Duncan's EKU women's volleyball team. She began her career at Eastern in grand style, being named to the OVC All-Freshman team after finishing second on the team with 85 total blocks, 65 block assists, and 20 block solos. As a sophomore, she was named first-team All-OVC, leading Eastern in six statistical categories. Her 447 kills placed her sixth on Eastern's all-time single-season chart. She was again named first-team All-Conference her junior season, selected to the 2004 All-OVC tournament team, leading the Colonels to a regular season OVC co-championship and an OVC tourney title. She ranked 18th nationally in hitting percentage in 2004, leading the OVC and setting an EKU record with a .387 mark. The Colonels finished 27-5 that season and were eliminated in the NCAA tournament by Tennessee. She also topped the OVC in hitting percentage and finished second on the team in kills with 449. She was named the team's best offensive player, received the squad's most inspirational attitude work ethic award, and as a senior, she was a driving force in guiding the Colonels to another OVC regular season co-championship as Eastern finished 23-7 before being eliminated in the OVC championship game by Jacksonville State. She was named an American Volleyball Coaches Association Honorable Mention All-American after being named to the All-Midwest Region team and the OVC's All-Tournament team. She was the first player in program history to be named an All-American. She holds two school records, single-season hitting percentage of .387 and a fabulous career hitting percentage of .311. She is also listed among Eastern's top 10 performers in 7 other offensive categories. Her senior season, she was named the team's most valuable player, best offensive player, and received the squad's most inspirational leader award. She received both her Bachelor of Arts degree in Public Relations and her Master's of Science in Physical Education and Sports Administration from EKU. She recently concluded a 5-year stay at Eastern in 2004, where she served as an assistant coach for the volleyball team. She is now located in Concord, Ohio, with her husband Neil and her son Julian. She is currently the Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Lake Erie College. Joined today by her husband Neil and other family members and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 14, Liz Gard Sellers.
Thank you so much. Not being part of my speech first, it's amazing to sit here today and listen to everybody else speak and realize how many of our stories are so similar and how special EKU is just coming from those stories. How many special people are part of the university from 40 years ago up until now. It's such an honor to be here, so thank you. Being inducted into this Hall of Fame means so much to me because EKU and EKU volleyball is so much a part of who I am today. I have to take this opportunity, as everyone else did, to thank a lot of people that got me here. First, I have to thank my entire family for being here. They traveled from Cleveland, from Cincinnati, Western Kentucky. They're amazing. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much. Next, I would not be here today at all without Coach Duncan. She is not here, which I'm so sad about, but she's coaching EKU right now at a 2 o'clock start, so I hope that she's able to see this. I want to thank her for everything she has done for me. The lessons that she taught me my 4 years here were the most invaluable life lessons, and I'm forever grateful for them. When I came back to coach in 2010, I was lucky enough to have her as my mentor once again and able to learn from simply one of the best people that I'll ever know. She has the kindest heart, most competitive heart that you'll ever know, but I am truly lucky and honored to be coached by her and to be a professional under her. I was recruited to come to EKU late in my senior year, late in the recruiting process. I had a couple of Division I offers, but I wasn't a huge recruit at all. Nobody, including myself, would have thought that I would have accomplished the things that were just read off or that I would have been an All-American. But I remember Duncan telling me my junior year, the end of my junior year, that she thinks that I could be an All-American based on my stats the previous year and what we accomplished. I remember going home that summer and training at the highest possible level that I could with some of the best athletes that I've ever been around. With her, that only thing, her telling me that in my head of, Liz, you can do this, you can be an All-American, we're going to win another championship. Having her believe in me that much is all you can ask for as a coach. I truly believe that EKU volleyball is the best program in the country because of the history here, but because of the experiences that Coach Duncan provides and the life lessons that she teaches me, that she teaches all of her players and taught me. I also want to thank our assistant, my 4 years here, Mary Lee Karenko. Looking back at the most special run we had was in 2004. Duncan and Mary Lee did such an amazing job preparing the team to work together and have faith in one another and teaching us what a team is. I can literally still feel the emotion from our last regular season game when we clinched the championship and the right to host the OVC tournament. I remember we were down in the fifth game, 12-9, and fifth games only go to 15 points. And even though we were down, I vividly remember not having a single doubt in myself, my teammates, or my coaches. I knew we were going to win, being down by 3 points in such a tight game, having the chance to host the tournament within those 3 points. We were trained that hard work pays off, and it did. Games like that taught me to never lack confidence ever and to have faith in the people around you. During that run, we knew the championship game would be on November 22nd, 11/22. A lot of us went to St. Mark's Catholic Church in Richmond at the time, and with our assistant coach, Mary Lee. And the coaches brought the verse Mark 11:22 to our attention. So November 22nd, Mark 11:22, which is have faith in God. It was something that we carried through all of our championship run and, of course, beyond. Mark 11:22 is now on our championship ring from that year. Again, it's one of the best lessons that I'll ever learn, and it came from this program. That being said, I want to thank my teammates. I played with some amazing volleyball players here at EKU, and they're the reason I was able to do so well. My freshman year, we didn't win a championship or were even contenders for one, but the seniors that year taught me what EKU pride meant. They taught me how high the standards were here. They taught me how hard what the culture was like, how hard athletes work on campus. And if it weren't for those seniors my freshman year, when we weren't contenders to win, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish the things I did down the road. And when we were winning championships, players like Leslie Aldridge, Kelly Jennings, Brittany Nobilio, and Jess Sabbath were the reasons that we won. In 2004, we led the country in defense, the entire country. Brittany Nobilio was top 10 in the country with digs per game while I was playing with her. As a middle blocker, I wasn't able to do really anything or be successful without good defense, and I was given the best the country had. I'm so proud of them, and I would not be able to accomplish the things I did without their accomplishments. Here's where it's going to get hard. Lastly, thank you to my incredible family. Again, I would not be here without them, literally, perhaps. Coach Duncan and Mary Lee first saw me play at the Ohio State Championships at Wright State when I was a senior. I think Duncan tells a story better than I do, but EKU was warming up in a gym, getting ready to play Wright State as my championship game was going on. And they walked into the gym and saw my brother-in-law, Chuck, who was nervously pacing around the arena. I think he had like most of his clothes off as he was stripped down. And I think they laughed at him as they later down the road gave him, had a good relationship with him and were friends. But they laughed at him and asked, what he was doing, asked who he was watching. And he said me, and they happened to both be watching me as well. But Chuck made my first connection to this amazing institution. The rest of my family was spread out throughout that Wright State arena, not sitting with each other, I don't think. It was a very nerve-wracking game. They were going crazy, as they always did, but supporting me and loving me in the best possible way. Chuck and my sister Stacy literally traveled from Las Vegas to Baltimore that year, supporting me in my junior Olympic career. So first, thank you to my sisters. Rachel, Nikki, and Stacy are here today, and my brother-in-laws, Chris, Anthony, and Chuck. I love you guys so much. You've always been my biggest and strongest support system. Thank you to my parents. Duncan definitely sold my parents on EKU when I got here on my official visit. I remember sitting in Arlington and leaving, and they stayed out later than I did with the team. I think with just talking mostly about the Steelers, because my dad's a Steelers fan. If anyone knows Duncan, it was a strong connection right from the start. But my mom passed away about 5 years ago, and this would make her so proud. And not just because of me, but she was so proud of this incredible program in school. She loved EKU, she loved Kentucky, and she admired Duncan and was so appreciative of what she was doing for me. Thank you to my dad for getting me here and teaching me what hard work is, and supporting me and loving me with everything you are. My freshman year, my dad gave me a letter when he dropped me off here, and the last thing the letter said was, "Go break records, baby girl." I walked into the gym the first day of preseason ready to break records that current team had. I don't know what they thought about me. I don't think they liked me maybe for the first few days, but I just knew I was ready to accomplish something here. Little did he know that phrase stuck with me 4 years and still does. Thank you for my aunt and uncle who are here today for always supporting me and traveling everywhere to be with me. I love you. And thank you to my husband and in-laws. They're my husband and in-laws now, but for 4 years they were my boyfriend and my boyfriend's parents. My husband and I met, I think, started dating the second I got to EKU. There are many times when we were at Austin P and Murray State, and we had 2 Colonel fans in the crowd, and those 2 Colonel fans were Dave and Patty Sellers. So thank you so much for always supporting me from when I was 18 until now. And thank you to my husband, Neil. He was one of the most successful baseball players to play here. We have a successful story when it comes to our sport about being the underdog and working as hard as we possibly can and it paying off. But I cherish the fact that we were able to go through that together and go through our EKU careers together. Neil, thank you for always being by my side and supporting me and loving me through our time at EKU and way beyond that. And lastly, thank you to my EKU family. Coming back to coach here and getting to know everybody more on a professional level, again, it's the greatest people that I'll ever know. I'm so proud of this school. I'm so proud of this program and where we're going right now and the growth that it has. And I'm, again, so grateful for this induction. Thank you so much, and go Colonels.
Our next inductee was a 4-year starter for the EKU men's basketball team from 2002 to 2006. He ended his Eastern career as the all-time leading scorer for the Colonels with 1,832 points, a record which stands to this day. He came to EKU after becoming the only player in the state of Ohio's rich high school tradition to score more than 2,000 points and hand out more than 500 assists. He made a bang right out of the gate, being named OVC Freshman of the Year and an amazing OVC Rookie of the Week 11 times while scoring 13.5 points a game. As a sophomore, he averaged a team-leading 15.6 points a game, was second in the conference in assists, and he was named second-team All-OVC. He was also named to the OVC All-Tournament squad. He hit 39.8% from three-point range, canning 70 long-range shots. His junior season was a special season, as he scored in double figures 23 of the 31 games and was a driving force on Coach Travis Ford's NCAA tournament team that gave highly ranked Kentucky a scare in a 72-64 loss to the Cats up in Indianapolis. He scored a team-high 21 points in that game. He closed out that season second in the OVC in assists and 20th in the nation with 6.26 assists per game. Then his senior season, he finished the year as the OVC's third highest score with an average of 18.5 points per contest. He made 97 three-pointers, hit 80.4% from the free throw line, and was named second team All-OVC. He is the EKU career leader in three-pointers made with 283, a second in Criddle history with 630 career assists, which is also fourth most in OVC all-time. He was chosen to Eastern's All-Century team in 2009 and played basketball in Europe for 6 seasons, where he led his team in scoring and assists 5 of those years. He played his first 2 years for teams in Germany and the Netherlands, where he averaged 17.6 and 16.4 points per game, respectively. His next 4 seasons, he played for teams in Spain, where he was turned into a fantastic 2010-2011 season for Club Baloncesto Claveo, in leading that team to a regular season title and the League Cup championship. That season, his 17 points and 6.5 assists per contest led the league as he was chosen Import Player of the Year and Guard of the Year. He is joined today by his wife Tara and his 2-year-old son Caleb Matthew and other family members and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, number 12, Matt Witt.
How's everyone doing today? Well, when I got a call from Carl Park about being inducted, I was ecstatic until I talked to my buddy Austin Newton, and he told me I'd have to do a speech. Not real good at this. To mimic kind of what Demarcus said, took countless game-winning shots, played in front of 30,000 fans in the NCAA tournament, but this scares me to death, so bear with me. I want to congratulate all the other inductees today. It truly is an honor to be with you guys. Secondly, thank you to the committee and everyone that had a part in selecting me for this great honor. To all my coaches, professors, and faculty that I had here at EKU, thank you for the time spent and giving me a chance to play basketball and a great education. I would like to thank my high school basketball coach, Steve Fisher, who's here today. He believed in me from day one as a freshman and also gave me the brightest green light a point guard should probably never have. I want to thank my coach here at EKU, Coach Travis Ford, for taking a chance on a 17-year-old kid from a small town in Ohio. Being able to play under one of the great point guards in Kentucky basketball history and learn the game from him truly helped me expand my game at the college level and then at the professional level. To my teammates and lifelong friends, it was an honor for me to put in the countless hours of hard work that we put in and week out over the years. There's not a moment here in my 4 years that I would ever change. A special thanks to Austin Newton, a former teammate who is here today, and to this day is still one of my best friends. But he had such an impact on my career. He probably doesn't realize it, but going against him every day for 3 years in practice made me a better person and a player. I honestly have never met another person that worked as hard as he did in his time at EKU. You call Travis Ford right now, he'll tell you otherwise, because we had that buddy-buddy system going on. I'd like to thank my family that's here today, especially my grandfather and my in-laws. Thank you for being here and always supporting me. Now, take a deep breath. I would like to thank my family. It's hard not to succeed when you have such hard-working, genuine, great people that support you. To my mom, dad, and sister, thank you for raising me the right way and always being there for me no matter what. You guys guided me in the right direction, and I can only hope I can do the same for my family going forward. And kind of go along with what Demarcus said too, my dad missed one game in my career. It's because there was an ice storm in Murray State, but we played on ESPN2 that night, so we got to watch it. To my wife, Tara, even though we met after my years here at EKU, you've always been my backbone and my best friend ever since. I've never met a more kind-hearted person in my life, so thank you for that. Lastly, I would like to again congratulate and thank everyone that got inducted today. It is an honor to be here. And for all the EKU coaches, current coaches here today, I have a 2-year-old in the back. I think it's the class of 2031. He's got a nice little jumper on him right now, and he's only 2. You know? Could be the next lefty assassin, I guess, if we want to call it. But again, thank you, everyone, and go Colonels.
It had been almost a quarter century since EKU had been to the NCAA tournament when Matt and Austin and Ben Rushing and Darnell Dials and Michael Haney and all them were able to accomplish that goal. Since then, Travis Ford, Jeff Neubauer, 3 NCAA tournament appearances, and now, after they have left to coach elsewhere, we have a new basketball coach at Eastern Kentucky by the name of Dan McHale. Dan is out recruiting today. Practice about ready to get going full squad here very soon, in the season just over a month away. But we do have a message from Dan on video before we conclude today's ceremony. Dan?
Good afternoon, Colonel fans. I just want to take this time to wish both Demarcus and Matt an incredible induction into the Eastern Kentucky Hall of Fame. What a great honor. Both of you guys were the epitome of student athletes during your time here. And I just wish you guys both much success and a well-deserved honor. It's an incredible achievement. Hope you both enjoy your day and are enjoying part of being part of something really special in Eastern Kentucky. I wish I could be there today. I'm on the road recruiting. I'm hoping to find 2 guys up to your caliber to bring into this program, to get this program where it should be. But I just want to wish my sincere congrats to both of you guys, and what an incredible honor and just a great day to be a Colonel.
To close our event this afternoon, we would like to call on Matt Roan, EKU Deputy Director of Athletics. Matt joined the EKU Athletics Department in June after serving the previous 2 years as the Special Assistant to EKU President Michael Benson. He previously served as Deputy Director of Athletics at Southern Utah, where he was an athlete himself before attaining his law degree from the University of Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Roan.
Thank you, Greg, and excuse me, move that up just for a second. And I promise to be brief in my remarks today because, as Liz mentioned, our volleyball team is taking on Tennessee State right now over at AC. And so I'd love 180 people to head over there with us here in just a moment when we go over. But I also promised Coach McHale, as he endeared himself to you, especially our 2 inductees who are basketball players, I think now is the perfect time to tell you that men's and women's basketball season tickets are on sale. So please join us, all 180 of you, and walk over to the ticket office here in just a few moments. But I hope you see that this is indeed one of the signature moments and one of the highlights of our athletic season. And I'd just like to take a moment to thank our 8 inductees, the families and the friends that traveled, some of you from great distances to be here with us, our investors in what we're trying to build in the athletic department right now, and then just our fans. We owe an unbelievable amount of gratitude or thanks to you for being here, and it doesn't go unnoticed by us, and I promise you that we're going to try to make you proud as we continue to move forward. Before we conclude today, I would like to say thank you to a few groups who made this event happen. First, Aramark for our meal that was provided to us today. The staff here at the EKU Center for the Arts for their service and their hospitality in opening up this venue to us. The Division of Communications, I believe, Carl, who helped us produce all of our videos that we have, and then the numerous members of our athletic staff who worked so hard to make this a memorable event for these 8 inductees and their families and friends. So if you would, please join me in congratulating them. If you've ever had an opportunity to spend any time with Steve, you'll understand that 2 really areas that he's emphasizing and focusing on in his administration are first, our obligation, our opportunity to invest in our athletics facilities, our infrastructure, and create spaces that you'll be happy to come back to, that you'll enjoy coming to a game to visit, but 2, that will help us attract the best student athletes that we can, young men and women who hopefully many years from now will be sitting in these same seats that you are today that we'll be inducting to our Hall of Fame. And second thing is the ability for us to generate resources, to go out and to find corporate dollars, private dollars, ticket sales, and that's why I give those shameless plugs like I did just a moment ago. And I'm extremely proud today to be able to really announce an idea that we've came up with that really blends those 2 things. And it's the Coach Roy Kidd Tribute Fund. What we plan to do with a new remade Roy Kidd Stadium here in the next 2 to 3 years is to unveil in the near future a bronze statue with our beloved coach, a guy that I've had to follow speaking a few times, and it's much easier to follow you all than it is him. But if you go to EKUsports.com, and at the very top you'll see 3 buttons. You'll see sports, you'll see recruits, and then you'll see giving. If you click on giving, a drop-down menu comes and talks about mini campaigns. And I would encourage each of you to give to that cause. And we are so happy to be able to announce that today. And if you have any questions, please get in touch with Skip Doherty or myself. But as we invest in our facilities, as we invest in trying to create resources, we're going to take the next step, but we want to pay tribute to you and do it the right way as well. Coach Kirsey, please, thank you. Coach Kirsey, you'll probably get a kick out of this, and you may have heard it before, but the longtime Alabama coach, Gene Stallings, when he was, I'm going to paraphrase for a moment, but when he was at Alabama, he talked about the expectations at the University of Alabama are very high. And I'll actually say the expectations at Eastern Kentucky University are very high. But why shouldn't they be? When we look around these rooms, we see the 8 inductees that we had today, and we see the families and friends, the investors and the donors, and the fans that come and travel here with us. What's wrong with expecting excellence? And I promise you, from Steve, from our university leadership, the members of our Board of Regents, our community leadership, that's what we intend to do. And I promise you that we're going to work every day to make each and every one of you proud. I know Carl intended for me to talk a little bit about some of the events tonight, but I think he asked the inductees to come over here at the conclusion of my remarks and take a picture. And we're going to continue to celebrate this day through the night by recognizing our inductees tonight on the football field. So I promised I'd be brief. I'm going to head over now to AC, but I'll leave you with these 3 words. Go Big E.